So let's see what you have. Okay, so we have the Moon card. This card actually says soul on it, and this is card 2. Wow, okay. There's a lot of messages coming through already, particularly because of the card, not the cards, but the stones that were selected for you. So with the number 2, I'm back to that sense of balance that came through with the stones. Both of these stones have balancing properties, so there's always kind of a balancing act happening with 2s. I'm getting 2 of Cups. I'm getting Lovers vibes, which is interesting. There's definitely soulmate energy here. The card even says soul, and I find that to be very, very appropriate considering the reading that we're doing. So I'm really glad that this card came out for you and that this is the energy that's bonding the 2 of you together. That's beautiful. This is kind of telling me that the energy connecting you and your soulmate is the energy of love. It's the energy of balance, kind of feeling that equal give and take here, and like a deep level of soul connection. Yeah, it's very possible for you. Your intuition is going to is going to kick in when you first meet this person. Yeah, I just feel like something is going to tell you, like your gut is going to tell you that this person will play some sort of significant role in your life. And it feels like this is an intuitive hit or an intuitive knowing that you have very early on in this connection. I feel like even if you aren't thinking along the lines of finding your soulmate, or even if you're not really looking for this type of deep soul connection when this person first comes into your life, I feel like you will both feel that there is a significance to the 2 of you coming together, the 2 of you meeting. Let's just say it's like you make an immediate impression on each other. So there might be like lingering curiosity when you first meet this person. There might be like, I wonder why I can't get this person off of my mind, or that was so crazy how I met this person or how I ran into this person. There might be some element of that, and I feel like even if this isn't on your mind at all, it's like there's a little bit of knowing there. So I love that your intuition kicks in about this. Your intuition's telling you, hey, there's something significant here. There's something that you need to pay attention to here. I'm kind of feeling like your soulmate is in a way unmistakable to you, even if it takes you both a little bit of time to recognize specifically what is special about this connection, or to even recognize that this is a soulmate. There's almost this inner knowing, or that inkling that we were talking about, probably before you even have the words to describe it. The feeling that this is something big, or that this means something, and you might not even have the language, or this could be your soulmate's energy that I'm picking up on. They don't even really have the language to describe this. Like, they might not be someone who would go around saying like, hey, I think this is my soulmate, or I think this is a soulmate, or anything like that. But there is kind of this knowing. I hope that makes sense. It's kind of like you know before you consciously know, if that resonates with you, because sometimes our knowing is more about a feeling than like an intellectual thing that happens in our head. So sometimes we can kind of almost know with our body, like know deep in our soul that something is right, or something is meaningful. For some of you, I'm picking up on a little bit of twin flame energy here. Not necessarily a term that I like to throw around, because there's no reason to add just to add any kind of confusion or add any kind of weight to this. So I will say, if that resonates with you, this can be confirmation for you if you have felt like you are a twin, or if you felt like you may have met your twin. This can be confirmation, but definitely this does not have to be a twin flame connection. We are looking at soulmate connections here. So take that if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. What else? Yeah, with this moon energy here, the emotions, the love, and this kind of soulful union is going to be the center of this connection. So this is something that's built on emotional ground. This is something that is built from a foundation of love and caring, and that feeling of deep emotion. It kind of tells me that this is always this is always kind of what the two of you come back to, or where you land. This love that you feel for each other is, I'm wanting this to make sense. I'm not sure if it's going to make sense, but it's like, it really is the foundation for this. It's the place where even when life gets crazy, when life gets hectic, you can always kind of fall back on the fact that you know that there's love there, you know that there's this deep, soulful connection there. You can always depend on that being there. Yeah, I feel like this is kind of, when everything else is stripped away, that love is always there. Some relationships kind of have this feeling of obligation or responsibility attached to them, and that's not the feeling I'm getting at all. So when I say that the foundation is love, I mean that there really isn't like this, I'm not having this feeling of like, well, you stay together because you have these certain commitments, or because you've made this commitment, or because you feel obligated in some way. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like this is a lot about choice. This feels like this is choosing to be with somebody who loves you and who you love, and just choosing to kind of like live in that space and not feeling obligated to each other in any way, just making that choice every day. Yeah, this feels like pure love to me. I really hope that makes sense. So there's some sort of purity in this connection. It feels like something so pure that exists between you that it's almost like the rest of the world kind of fades away. And you can land in that place of love. You can feel secure in that place of love. And the two of you are always choosing each other. You choose to be in a connection where the love and the soul-to-soul connection is at the center of the union. I'm also picking up on a lot of chemistry and emotion between the two of you. With this kind of dark, sultry moon energy, I feel like I'm already getting some indications about your, we'll call it like your bedroom life. It's that sex life element. So I guess I was trying to avoid saying that, but now I've said it. So I'm already kind of getting like a vibe on that. We are going to look more into the romantic elements of this connection later on in the reading, but this is already kind of coming through, and the way I would say it's coming through is like it's on point. And I wouldn't expect any less, because we are seeing something here that's so balanced. I'm seeing this number 2. I'm picking up on the energy of the stones that were connected to this reading. There's a lot of balance here. There's a lot of reciprocal energy here. So I think that that element of your connection is it's good. It's very good. There's a lot of passion, yes, but there's also that deep emotional connection, and that kind of amplifies all of the passion, and it allows you to really connect through that physical act, or the more physical elements of your relationship, of your romantic life. It's like there's nothing robotic about it. Let's just say it's like there's a lot of heat and passion and a lot of emotional energy between the two of you. So yeah, it's kind of spicy, and I feel like there's a lot of variety, and I want to say almost a lot of soul in a way, because it does kind of feel to me like it feels to me like I was saying, it's not robotic. Like sometimes connections with people can feel like it's like step 1, step 2, and this doesn't have that feeling at all. It feels like it's a lot about this soulful connection that the two of you feel together. And that is just being expressed in a physical way. So that is good. I love that that's already showing up for you, because that's a pretty good indication. So the next part of the reading, we're going to look at your biggest strength or your biggest contribution in this connection. So what do you kind of excel at? What are you offering? What are you bringing to the table? And we have the Mirror card for you. Okay. So what you're bringing to the table in this connection is really the ability to not only self-reflect, but also to help your partner reflect and to see things from a new perspective. You may sometimes do this by mirroring their energy. That wouldn't surprise me at all if you're like, if it comes very naturally to you to mirror this person's energy, because we have this energy of balance, and the number 2, again, you might even be someone who can pick up on other people's energy very easily. You might be a little bit empathic, but I feel like in general, it's that you're really helping them to see things more clearly. One thing that's standing out here is I think you help your soulmate to see themselves more clearly, because you kind of bring out this loving, more soulful side of them. You may help them to recognize their strengths, or to see what is so special or so lovable about themselves. I feel like even at times, maybe you help them to recognize their weaknesses, or to recognize their opportunities for improvement. It's like you hold up that mirror. But your biggest strength in this relationship, and also what your partner will really appreciate you for, is that you really think things through. You take the time to reflect. You make time for reflection. You actually consider both sides, and you're willing to take a hard look at yourself. Take that hard look in the mirror, and okay, sorry, I don't know why, but the camera just stopped recording. But what we were talking about is like, you're willing to take that hard look in the mirror at yourself and do that self-reflection, and kind of be accountable for what you are bringing into the relationship, what you're bringing in to any kind of interaction you have in the soulmate connection. And you're the type of person that will consider your partner in every decision that you make. So you'll consider their feelings, you'll consider their preferences, and that's what your soulmate really appreciates about you. This is kind of giving me the energy of someone who isn't looking to point the finger every time a problem arises, but you're willing to self-reflect and to self-improve if that's what's needed for this connection to flourish. It's like you don't shy away from the hard work, which in turn I think helps this connection to grow. I'm even hearing that for some of you, before you came into this connection, the mirroring effect was already taking place. So it's like the improvements that you were making and the lessons that you were learning along your journey, it's almost like that was all actually felt by your soulmate. And in this strange kind of like symbiotic way, it's like you're helping, like you were helping your soulmate to grow and to improve through the work that you were doing on yourself. So very interesting energy there. Again, a little bit of twin flame energy, I'm not gonna lie. So your personal journey is actually having kind of this mirrored effect on your soulmate connection. Even if you haven't met this person yet, or even if the two of you are kind of like in a period of separation or stagnation in this connection, your growth is really reflected in their journey as well. So even your personal growth is reflected in their journey, which is beautiful. Let's look at what this person, your soulmate, what they are bringing to this connection. I'm also like, the moon that's being reflected in this mirror too, I feel like is really cool, because we have this moon energy here. So your soulmate's strength in this connection is time, actually. So let's look at that. Give you a little close-up of that card. Your soulmate is someone who might have, they might have quality time as one of their main love languages. So if you're kind of familiar with the love language, like little quiz that you can take, this might be somebody who really values spending quality time with those who they love and they care about. This is someone who will dedicate the time and the energy and the focus to this connection. And that's something you really appreciate about them. They are a person who will prioritize this soulmate connection above other commitments in their life, because they understand that time is our most precious asset, and they don't want to waste a second with you. So with this energy and the dynamic of the connection that I'm picking up on so far, I feel like this is someone who will definitely this is interesting that it's coming through. I kind of feel like this is someone who, your guides are their guides. Somebody's highlighting the fact that this person isn't going to get it right all the time, which is true of everyone. So like, it's like their guides are saying they won't get it right all the time, or they're not going to be perfect all the time. And none of us will. Like, none of us are going to get everything perfect all the time or always make the right or perfect decision, because we are human. But this is someone who's willing to stick it out for the long haul. Someone who's committed, and I'm kind of sensing this unwavering commitment here. Like, I feel this person's motto would be something like, we've got the rest of our lives to figure this out. Or like, we've got all the time in the world to figure this out. So like, anytime a problem arises, they're really good at not giving up. They're really good at putting in the time and like making sure that you're aware of their level of commitment. Yeah, they're willing to like put in the time to solve problems. And it's not only that, it's like they love spending time with you. I feel like this person never makes you feel like you're a burden, or like they would rather be somewhere else. They're very good at making space and time for you and making you know and feel that you are the top priority in their life. I think both of you, kind of get this feeling that time stops when the two of you are together. That's just sort of the vibe here. Like, your connection kind of exists outside of time and space, if that makes any sense. It's like, it's like you both feel like you could spend unlimited time in each other's company. What you love about this person is that they seem to kind of make time stop. They almost make the outside world fade away. I feel like we were already talking about that a little bit. So there's this sense that like the world fades away when you're with this person. And in that way, I feel like they have this calming effect on you. Like they kind of help to quiet your mind, or just to center you in the present moment. So we're going to use these little tarot cards to take a look at your weaknesses and challenges in this connection, for both you and your soulmate. So where are the areas where like you might stumble? What are the challenges that you're going to face in this soulmate connection? And we're going to look at your challenges first. So, okay. So we have the Knight of Cups come out in reverse. Okay. Yeah, I feel like you might be the kind of person who finds it difficult to show affection when you're upset or when you're in your feelings. I do think that by nature, you might see more of the like intricacies of this connection or of life in general than your soulmate, with this mirror energy being your strength. And because of that, there might be things going on in the relationship or in your life together that you're kind of able to feel more intensely. So sometimes your emotions might get the better of you. I do feel like this is truly because you see and you sense so much, but you might have the tendency in this connection to not be quite as tender or as expressive when something is bothering you, especially if it's weighing on you on an emotional level. With this Knight of Cups here, this is a very emotional energy. So the Knight of Cups can kind of also indicate an overactive imagination when it shows up in the reverse like this. Yeah, for some of you, this could mean that one of your challenges is kind of allowing doubt to creep in, or this is something that you find is challenging to kind of stop doing. Maybe doubting the connection, letting your fears kind of creep into the connection, maybe imagining the worst case scenario. This could be challenging for you. I feel like that kind of energy could even manifest as jealousy or worrying that your partner isn't being completely honest with you. So that is something to keep in mind. Emotional balance is key with the Knight of Cups in reverse, and that is just something to keep in mind. So let's take a look at your soulmate's weaknesses or challenges in this connection. And we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. So interesting, both of your cards came out in the reverse. I feel like this is, again, kind of a mirrored energy here. It's almost the same type of energy, to be honest with you. There are similarities here. So this is like where the two of you feel challenged. I do sense a bit of a similarity here. This person, I feel like whereas your weakness or your challenge in this connection might be more on an emotional level and kind of this withholding when it comes to your emotions, your soulmate's challenges fall under more of the communication or the expression aspect of the connection. So they might have the tendency to like kind of shut down and to communicate less during challenging times, or when they feel that something is bothering them, when something is weighing on them. They might be someone who, when they're working through something internally, they kind of go quiet, or they go altogether silent. If this is a connection where you're already aware of this person, like you already know this person, the soulmate has already come into your life, you may have had like a period of no contact or limited communication with this person already. And if that's the case, then you'll kind of know exactly what I mean, because you would have noticed when they're going through something, they might tend to kind of withdraw. You might not hear from them. They might not be as expressive as they typically would be. So this is something that they are challenged with. I think that for the most part, this is someone who likes to have things kind of figured out, and have kind of a clear idea in their head before they communicate about it. But this tendency could at times leave you wanting more information from them or wanting more clarity from them, and like you kind of thinking, okay, this is a little bit confusing, what's going on here? I can see that here. Yeah, so their biggest weakness is that they sometimes just shut down and they don't communicate very well. Maybe even, I could even get silent treatment vibes from this. So this could be somebody that if they're very upset, they will just go completely silent. Especially if they're overwhelmed too, I'm hearing. Yeah. So now I would like to look at your kind of day-to-day life with this person. So I'm calling this home life, but this is really going to encompass a lot of areas of this connection. So day-to-day life, everyday life, and also your romantic connection with this person. We're going to pull an oracle card for you and then clarify. Whoa. There's your card. And then clarify with a tarot card. So, oh wow, okay, you actually have the happiness card. So home life, looking pretty good. Let's clarify that energy with the tarot card. I feel like you guys are very, very happy together in everyday life. And probably just move through like the mundane parts of everyday life really easily. It feels like it flows. I'm noticing the dolphins in this happiness card, which I think is interesting because dolphins represent communication, and we were just talking about like communication being a weakness for your soulmate when they are bothered or when something is weighing heavily on them. So this is showing me that communication looks good between the two of you in everyday life. Oh, did you really get the Two of Cups? Yeah, you did. So you have this two here. We have the themes of balance, and you just got the Two of Emotions. So that's Two of Cups. And a lot of like aquatic imagery here. So again, this is about deep emotional connection. I'm just seeing like all this watery imagery, all this kind of ocean imagery. There might be some sort of significance there within this connection. But yeah, I feel like in terms of everyday life, the two of you are communicating very well. The two of you are very happy together in your everyday life. And it's like, I feel like with the Two of Cups, there's this energy of really seeing eye to eye about things. So things generally running smoothly. I'm even getting for some of you that you might be in business with this person at one point in time or another. This might be kind of a goal for you and your soulmate to like open a business together, to work very closely together. This could be also the energy of two people working at home together. Even if you're working on separate tasks, it might be that both of you work at home. Because with the Two of Cups, I do get that energy. The Two of Cups is really a lot about partnership, and this can extend to business partnership. But this is just showing me that the two of you are great partners, that you kind of take a unified stance when it comes to just life. You know, we all have stuff come up. There are things we have to deal with. There are decisions we have to make, families we have to raise, which, by the way, this is great energy for thinking about starting a family. So if that is something that you are interested in with your soulmate, there's definite great energy here for welcoming in some children, for kind of expanding upon this connection that the two of you have together. There is, again, too, mutual attraction here. So looking at your more romantic life, we were already picking up on that, but this is definite confirmation and reiteration of a really strong romantic connection between the two of you that is very emotional in nature. So there's a mutual attraction here. There is kind of a mutual I want to say like mutual pursuit. Like, it doesn't feel like this connection is very one-sided, like with one person doing the majority of the pursuing, or even the flirting or things like that. It's like both of you are very drawn in and connected and pulled toward this person, and it feels very equal. It feels very balanced, which has been a theme throughout this entire reading. I feel like the main feeling I get from like your everyday life with this person is that the two of you are unified. The two of you see eye to eye. It's like you're in it together. So whatever kind of challenges come up, whatever you're dealing with, whatever you're facing, it doesn't have to be anything that's heavy. It's just decisions that have to be made, people that we have to deal with, whatever. It's like the two of you, you're always taking a unified stance about it. I think you communicate about things before making decisions or before presenting your decision to anyone outside of the connection. It's like the two of you want to be on the same page before you discuss your choices with anyone else. Yeah, this is really interesting because I forgot that this card was making me think of the Lovers and the Two of Cups, and we actually had that card come out. We actually had the Two of Cups come out. So that's very interesting, but this was making me again think about choice. Like choices, that like this is something that is by choice. The two of you choose to spend each day together because you feel happy in this connection. So it doesn't feel like a chore. It doesn't feel hard. It feels like an obvious decision for you to make, but it's definitely a choice that the two of you are making every single day, which is kind of beautiful energy here. So yeah, I want to pull an oracle card from a different deck, and we're going to look at how the two of you relate to one another, and also look at your communication, which in this case, I feel like we've already touched upon that in two different scenarios. So we will see what other messages we get in terms of communication in this connection. So how are you relating to your soulmate? And how are you communicating it? I'm dropping your card. Okay, so we have the Composure card coming out. Very calming energy, like that. I'm going to clarify again. And there, another tarot card. Just clarifying this energy of composure. Okay, we have the World Cosmos, which is the World card. Okay. I feel like it's interesting because we did get so many messages about communication already, but I'm actually seeing another layer here. This is actually showing me like how the two of you kind of deal with your challenges. So I think in everyday life, your communication is really great. I think that you understand each other because you tend to see eye to eye. But I'm seeing that like if, for instance, something came up where the two of you didn't see eye to eye, or where there's a lot of things to consider, or maybe there's a lot of frustration, just in the air. It doesn't even have to be frustration at each other, but it could just be that it's a very frustrating situation, or it's a very difficult situation. I feel like both of you have the wherewithal to kind of take the time to gather your thoughts before you communicate about a topic that might be kind of like inflammatory in some way. I feel like there's really the shared goal of understanding each other's point of view, and of like remaining calm, hearing each other out and understanding where each of you are coming from, or how each of you can get your needs met in whatever the scenario is. There is really just like this calm kind of zen and centered energy, and I feel like it's like both of you really want to come to any kind of discussion or any kind of interaction with each other in a very calm and composed state. You want to come there as your best self. And I love that this is showing up, because it's showing it again on both sides. It's showing that this is reciprocated. So both of you are taking the time to think things through, taking the time to consider both sides and wanting to hear what the other has to say. I get the energy from this that it's kind of like, I feel like you two don't take each other for granted, which is a beautiful thing. I feel like there's respect here, like mutual respect for each other's needs and opinions, and kind of like an acceptance of the whole person, if that makes sense. And this is reciprocated energy. So it's like you accept your soulmate for everything that they are, the good, the not so good. I won't say bad, but it's like the good and the not so good, the positive and easy traits that they have to get, like ways that are easy for you to get along with this person, and ways that are a little bit more challenging. But it's like this is happening on both ends. You're both accepting each other for the whole and complete person that you are, and that comes with a lot of things. There's a lot of intricacies. There's a lot of little details. There's a lot of little personality quirks, and it's like the two of you really see each other for what you are and appreciate each other for the total package. You kind of love everything about each other, even the things that you do find more challenging, which is beautiful. It's very mature energy here. And I think that is a very mature energy. It's a mature thing to do, to gather yourself, to gather your thoughts, to show up to an interaction as a composed person who's willing to hear the other person out, who's willing to keep an open mind. I feel like that's kind of the energy here. Oh wow, okay, your card shot out and we haven't even discussed what the next portion of the reading is. So what we're going to look at last is, how would your soulmate describe this connection? And you have the commitment card come out. Pretty much says it all. Let's clarify it as if it needs any clarification. This really could mean that this is a soulmate that you are married to. So if this might be someone that you are interested in committing to on that level, that might not be in your plans to be married, but this does indicate a high level of commitment, a real devotion. Really interesting, because this is how your soulmate would describe your connection. And we were also talking about with the time card that your soulmate is like very dedicated, very committed, and gosh, your cards are coming out so fast, faster than I can talk. Very dedicated and committed to this connection, to the point that this person might literally say or be of the belief that like, we have all the time in the world to figure this out. Like, I'm not going anywhere. We've got decades to figure this out, to work through this, or to make this decision or whatever. That's pretty much the stance that they take. So yeah, the commitment card come out. They're very committed. It's like almost like they're very aware, like this is it, like this is the one. So they don't have I'm not getting a feeling like they're looking for anything or missing anything from this connection. It's like it's a done deal as far as they're concerned. You have the Nine of Inspiration show up in reverse to clarify this card. So this is Nine of Wands energy. And I feel like because the Nine of Wands in the reverse position can sometimes indicate, I'll show you the card in the upright. It can sometimes indicate that feeling of like not being able to go on or giving up right before we meet our goal. So this kind of tells me that for your soulmate, from their point of view, they may have been experiencing hardships in their life or a lot of disappointment in their life leading up to meeting you, to the point that they feel like, oh, I was just about to give up and then I met the one. Like right when I was going to give up, right when I would have just openly declared that I don't believe in love anymore, that's when I met the one. So for some of you, that is the case, and that's why this Nine of Inspiration is showing up in the reverse position for your soulmate. I think for the majority of you, the reason that this Nine of Wands or Nine of Inspiration is in reverse is because this is kind of a message that this is someone who will never give up. So they would describe this connection as something that they want to hold on to for a lifetime, something that they are not going to give up on. They have this desire to really work together, and that's where that committed energy is coming from. They have this desire to work on this relationship with you. To work through the challenges, and that's what commitment looks like to them. It doesn't look to them like everything has to be perfect all the time, like everything's going to be sunshine and rainbows, but just that knowing that they are going to fall back on this great love that they feel for you, and that they're committed to this for the long haul. So whatever arises, it's like we've got all the time in the world to figure this out. We will figure this out. Yeah, so I think this person is very realistic and very mature, and I'm getting kind of that energy for both of you. Again, that balanced energy. I feel like the reason the two of you are great together is because you're both bringing a certain maturity to this. So I do feel this mature energy coming from your soulmate. They know that commitment doesn't mean perfection. It means sticking with it. Sticking it out even when times get tough. So yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you did enjoy this reading, if any of these messages resonated with you, don't forget to like the video, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button if you feel like it. And hopefully I will see you in another reading really soon.